In today's stream, I want to talk a little bit about how to solve crosswords because I think that's going to be of interest to a lot of people because crosswords is not something that people do on a regular basis. Now, one of the things about solving crosswords is that some words will get repeated again and again, and I would say about 20% of the words in any crossword over a week will be something you've seen before, a clue you've seen before, a way of thinking you've seen before, and all you need to do is to keep those in mind. And once you do that, once you get the grid or entries in the grid in place, then you can build on top of it. So those things become simple and much more easy to solve. Once you know what the given answers, like gimmies, it's just there. For example, the word eke, E-K-E, to eke out a living, eking, those kind of words, they keep coming back. In the American style crosswords that the New York Times has, there is a TV anchor called Hora Kotb. She is a regular entry in crosswords because her last name Kotb, K-O-T-B, and her first name Hoda, H-O-D-A, they're very unique and they can form the basis of a lot of other crossings because of the way the name is spelled. That's another one. Then sari is another one. It's a pretty common word, toga, sari, for wraps. Those are pretty common. So once you get the hang of a few of these, it becomes easier to do the crossword. How do you get the hang of this? So once you solve the crossword, or once you're not able to solve the crossword, and the solutions are in front of you because you've given up, then make sure you connect the clues with the actual answers and try to work out why the clues made sense in the context of the answer. That'll give you a hint about how crossword makers think about their problems and clues. So that's a good way to understand how the questions are being set, basically. If you know how the teacher thinks while setting an exam for you, it becomes simpler to do well in that exam. That's the same thing with crosswords. So let's look at today's crossword. The average for Monday, my average for Monday is 6 minutes and 29 seconds. The best I've ever done is 4 minutes 25 seconds, and today is obviously not known. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start because I don't want to wait for 8:15. Let's do today's crossword. It should take about 6 minutes to 7 minutes to solve unless I'm having a really bad day. Wheels place on a ship at the helm. The wheel is placed at the helm. Key point is main entry, main point, pluralis, L-Y-S or L-I-S, L-Y-S. Malia, so this has to be L-I-S. Malia is Obama's oldest daughter. Laughing sound, ha-has. Mover's vehicle is a van. Cable channel, MTV. Sentence that often appears in the first paragraph of an essay. The Elena Kagan. Kagan. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Carry is to lug around. Yellowfin is a tuna. Let's see if we can find some of those repeated clues this time. Fastidious to a fault. Anal does come often, maybe once or twice a month. A slab is a balcon. Overused and uncreative. It's stale. So anal is one thing you can remember. Zilch is nil. Zilch is also, it happens around. Kids. Key point. These United States. United. No, it can't be these United States. Plops sits. One. A quick confirmation of feasibility. Sanity check. Etch a sketch. Etch a sketch. Actress Emma Watson. Part of a hand is the palm. Seizes, halts. Early computer Ada Lovelace. I think Ada has come a few times of late. Sadly, alas. So this is one. So you look at sadly, it's in quotes. So basically the way to think about this is the answer to that clue will have the same meaning as what's inside quotes. So when you say sadly, people also say alas. That's pilaf. Rice pilaf. Baby cow is a calf. Acid something. This is main idea. Shoe brand Nike is named after Ericsson is Ezra Klein. Ezra. Ari Glass. So these are just things you need to know. I mentioned. But once you do it a couple of times, you'll get it. Pesky. This is. It beats a high card, but that's a pair. Ira Glass, not Ari. It's Ira Glass. A pair beats a. Yeah, if you don't play poker, then you can get this. Tattle on, rat on. This is stated. 2023's Fatal Attraction and The Little Mermaid. Reboots, recast. Lion loses on purpose as a thanks. Laws passed by acts, act of Congress. Drop in the ocean. It's an island. It's an isle. Rosa Parks. Sink. Drop in the ocean. A sink. Word before. Rosa. Open-minded. State. This is stated statement. This the Rudelese. This is statement. This is statement. Okay. Remakes. Amherst. Stat of interest to a competitive crosswords. Time. I guess time. Jerry's old foe. Tom and Jerry. Pollution. Smog. Acid. Old enough. Off age. Mom and pop stores. Retail shop. Little drinks. Sips. Not worth a sou. Employee is to use. Remote control flyer is a drone. Quadri -1 is a try. Loud and unhappy sports fans in slang. Donut shapes is a tow ride. Just something you learn along the way. Saturday procedure is Friday. Boo. Acid dab. Okay. Boo. Spanish bill is a toro. iPhone assistant is CD. Temporary calm. Vanilla. Defamed in print. Libeled. Must have. It's a need. Button to press when stepping away from a Zoom meeting. It's got to put no mute. You can't be. Poker buy-in is the ante. Top notch is A1. I think A1 is another one which is pretty common. The C in printers sign. You cry from someone seeking revenge. You'll pay for this. Pay for this. Some cuts of course. Loin. Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill. Pumps in the gym. Lifts. The A of arts. As yet. Panda in 99% diet. And lull. So I guess today's puzzle took me 6 minutes, which is still below my average. But I maybe could have done better if I wasn't explaining what I was doing. But I thought this would be a good way to get into the minds of a crossword solver. So let's go over the ones which were repeated. I think anal was repeated. Tuna has come before. Then Rosa Parks. There are a few which you just had to know. I mean, Rosa Parks you just had to know. Ezra you just had to know because I do subscribe to the New York Times. So I know Ezra Klein is there. Ira Glass on NPR. You just need to know that. Ada Lovelace, that's a geeky computer thing. What is PDA? Kiss on the Street. I didn't even see it. I just did the others and this came for free. Tom and Jerry. I guess Tom and Jerry everybody knows. You don't need to. Act Amherst. So out of the clues we had, anal was something you could have just filled in because you know the word or you've seen it before. The is statement. Malia was Obama's daughter. I guess that's another one that either you knew or you just looked it up. And that's one thing, that it's totally okay to look up the crossword. I mean, if you don't know a clue and you think you can just work it out by looking up details about it. Like for example, if you didn't look up the exact thing. It's an elder Obama daughter. Instead of doing that, you say Obama's daughters or Obama's family. And then you say, okay, there's Obama, there's Sasha, there's Barack himself, Obama, Sasha, uh, Malia, and Michelle. So obviously his daughters are Sasha and Malia. And if you know that this is fleur de lis, LIS, then you know that it has to be Malia, or it can't be Sasha because Sasha, the fourth letter is an H. Then same with Ezra for New York Times op-ed. So you just don't type. I wouldn't just type in the crossword clue and get the answer, because there are people who solve the crossword immediately and post it online. So it'll be literally, you just type in New York Times opinion writer Klein. So then it'll just boom, give you the answer. But that's kind of not cool. So what I do is I try to find ancillary information from where I can work out the answer. So I would look up the list of New York Times crosswords. New York Times opinion writers, and there'll be all these Maureen Dowd and all these names, and suddenly there'll be a name like something Klein. And what's the name against that? That's Ezra. So that's what I do. So that's the way I have started, and over time I've picked up some of the answers. CD is another one that comes often. So anal CD is repeated every once in a while. So yeah, that's how you do your crossword. So hope this helps you do your crossword in the future. And if you do get used to doing